Here's one! They score! They score!
Welcome to God's Playbook with your host, Father Rico Passero.
Look at the 20, 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown!
Let's play ball.
Friends, welcome back to God's Playbook. We continue our study of the beautiful resource, Beautiful Eucharist, put out to us by Dynamic Catholic. Today is subchapter 11 by Sister Helena Burns, FSP, Why I Lied to My Pastor About First Communion. Interesting how you might think a nun lied about communion, but let's not judge her. She was 7. Sister talks about how growing up, Father Hurley went to great length to make sure that she and her fellow peers believed that Jesus was truly present in the Eucharist before they received him in Holy Communion. He made home visits, he taught her parents, he taught her, and the entire class, the entire parish, not a symbol, not a remembrance, but truly Jesus. And at the time, she acknowledges that she just said she believed it, but she really didn't. Because as a 7-year-old, she felt that it was too difficult to actually believe that. As if in her own dollhouse there was furniture and we were to believe that this is real. She saw the tabernacle as an extension of her dollhouse furniture and couldn't really believe that Jesus was inside. It was only after she asked her mother the question, what the purpose of human life was. Her mom answered her using the Baltimore Catechism, which says, God made us to know him, to love him, and to serve him in this world, and to be with him forever in the next. She lived a good life, but felt suicidal at 15, not because of a chemical imbalance or sadness. She says she had a pretty darn good life, but she didn't know why she was alive. Maybe some of us listeners are feeling the same way. Why? God made us to know him, to love him, and to serve him in this world, and to be happy with him forever in the next. For Sister, this was a game changer. As she started to unpack that truth, she started to truly feel God's presence. But yet again, she had another powerful moment in her life. She spent time in her parish church, Our Lady of Mercy, and said these words to Jesus. Jesus, if you are in the tabernacle, I will accept all the Catholic Church's teachings, lock, stock, and barrel. I will stop rejecting them and strive to understand them. So are you there, Lord? She heard instantly Jesus say, yes, I am here. Yes, I am here. 4 simple yet beautiful words that speak truth. As Sister heard those words, it changed her life. She instantly believed, as she says in the chapter, and had some work to do, to work on moving past those doubts, those fears, that skepticism, and entered into the truth of the church that Jesus had passed on to his first disciples and those who followed him. The same faith that Sister then realized 4 days after this encounter that God was calling her to be a nun, that no longer would she be a regular person, but called by God to love him, serve him, and adore him as a religious sister, to help many others to come to know him, love him, and serve him too. Sister Helena's story could be our story. When's the last time we spent time in quiet prayer with the Lord and perhaps asked him those same questions? Are we listening to his response in our heart? Perhaps in our mind. He may be answering that question subtly or perhaps boldly, as he did for Sister Helena. Yet for each of us, friends, are we open to the idea that when we enter into prayer, God not only listens but speaks to us? sometimes in silent, subtle ways, other times through a homily or a retreat, sometimes in the silence of our hearts after receiving Him in Holy Communion. Sometimes God reveals Himself to us in conversations with others in spiritual direction or general conversation. The key for us, as Sister Helena had to do, was to move from one stage to the next. St. Thomas moved from doubt to faith. Sister Helena moved from doubt to faith. God is calling us to move from doubt to faith. And so at the end of this great chapter, which I pray that you are all reading this resource, or certainly have ordered it and look forward to unpacking it richly, she gives us this point to ponder. Next time you think God has stopped speaking to you, consider the alternate reality that perhaps you have stopped listening to His voice in your life. Again, next time you think that God has stopped speaking to you, consider the alternative reality that perhaps you have stopped listening to His voice in your life. Friends, let us be more like Sister. Let's be more receptive to how God is speaking to us. And then when He does speak to us, let us respond accordingly with hearts that are open, minds that are open, and our souls that are yearning for that response. As St. Augustine says, our souls are restless until they rest in Thee, O God. Lord, help us today to rest in You, to listen for Your voice and respond with love, for You are a God who is present to so many, but to us as individuals too. For God's Playbook friends, I'm Father Rico. God loves you, and so do I.
If you like what you hear, please consider supporting us using any of our affiliate links in the description below via Buzzsprout, Ko-Fi, or GoFundMe. Thanks, and God bless.